maybe sometimes the wait is really worth it. And instead of one, you get four.
Hi, my name's Forrest. Um, this is my 1974 Corvette Stingray. I've had it for 9 years now, and well, I've done quite a bit to it. The paint is as you see it from the day I bought it, but all the mechanicals I did a lot myself, and it has a factory original L82 engine, 350, 250 horsepower. It got close to about 300 pounds of torque, and it's a nice little cruiser,
I like it.
and it's a fun car, and it's just like one of my rides. I have also a 1984 that I'm restoring now, and
A
it's now
Corvette.
my daily
A Corvette.
Corvette.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now, can you daily drive this one, or is it
no, no, this one's just a show car.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, this one I just show and take out for a cruise here and now, come to meets,
Uh
and it basically stays in the garage, covered up, left alone.
huh. Too nice to take it out and mess it up, huh?
Yeah, just take it out, go to Galveston or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
drive around just for a little while. It does have AC. The AC does work. Everything basically works. It's not totally stock. The distributor was replaced when I picked it up from Dallas, Texas, back when I bought it. It has some problems.
How so?
Well, it was backfiring and it was hard to start, and it had problems trying to stay running sometimes. So I had to take out the MSD ignition on it and the
Mm-hmm.
billet distributor. Just yanked it out and threw it away. I mean, it was backfiring through the exhaust.
It
It
was
was a
bad.
painful experience.
Yeah.
But it had ear shocks on it. Took the ear shocks off. Put KYBs on it. That lasted a couple of years, and now it has full coning suspension,
Mm.
rear sway bars, and uh, full brakes from Lone Star Caliper. They are excellent brakes. This car stops on a dime
So
now.
you can really tell the difference now that you drive it,
Oh,
huh?
big time,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah.
Who got you into cars?
Well, my dad wasn't really into cars, but it's kind of funny. When I was 17 years old, I had a Camaro that I was driving around town and driving to school and stuff like that.
Which year?
It's a '77.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, '77 Rally Sport. Beautiful car. And it had the mags on it and
Uh huh.
everything. It was my getting all A's car.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I lost out on the Firebird Formula.
Oh.
So anyway, I came home one day and my dad was having a party,
Mm-hmm.
and he had a bunch of rich. He was like a stockbroker, so he had all these people that had money,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there was a Corvette Stingray out on the street, and I walked in, and one of his friends uh, flagged me down and says, "Hey, come over here." I said, "Okay, what's up?" He says, "Would you like to drive my car?" So I'm guessing your car's a Stingray out there. Here are
What
the
about
keys. Enjoy yourself.
that?
The thing was, it wasn't just any Stingray.
Uh huh.
It was a pace car. It was a '78 pace car, and this car was brand spanking new in '78, right? And well, I think I had, I think I went to every girlfriend's house that I went to that night and drove around and drove around. When I got home, the guy was drunk anyway, so it didn't make any difference. And that's what got me into Corvettes.
That's a hell of a start.
Yeah, so I actually had a bunch of opportunities during the course of my life to buy another Corvette or
Uh,
my first one. But when you have a family and you have a house and you
Life
have,
gets in the way.
just not making what you could to buy one of these, right?
Yeah.
So I had to turn 60 years old to be able to afford one,
Hey, you got one. That's all that
and I
matters.
got one. So yeah, and then after that came the my 90 ZR1.
Okay.
A friend of mine had it, and I begged him and begged him, if he ever wanted to sell it, I'd buy it from him. Well, one day, about 8 months later, he comes at me and says, "Hey, if you still want to buy this car, it's available to you. I'm not going to sell it to anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be just for you. It's for sale just for you." I said, "Okay, well, what do you want for it?" And he told me. So I had to figure out how to buy it. So that took me 3 months.
Uh-huh.
And I had to get a couple of things out of the way before I could buy it, you know. And once things finally lined up, and I got the loan that I wanted, and the money out of the savings account and everything, I came to his house. I said, "Here, mine. Give me the keys." So, uh, yeah, I picked it up, and I've had it ever since. I think I had it for 3 years now,
Yeah.
and it's won multiple car shows. And it's basically I bring it here every now and then,
Yeah.
and I think I think I don't think I had it when your son asked me about it the last time.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was my black car, my '84.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this one, my first one, and it was the Stingray is the one I've always wanted,
Yeah.
and I've had 6 or 7 opportunities in my lifetime to buy one. Come this close,
Finally made it happen.
never happened. So it was mostly just money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
It's always money.
Oh, it's always.
Always money.
They always come available at the
That's
worst
right.
possible time.
So the opportunity came around when I was 60 years old, and I was able to buy this. So,
Man, that's awesome. So you said you were 60 when you were able to buy it. And do you have any family, anybody that you're passing on that dream of owning one, two, or anything
well,
like that?
actually, my second oldest son, he's in his 30s now, and he's always wanted one. So we went shopping, and he didn't want a C3, he wanted a C4,
Okay.
and I think he wanted a C5 too. He was looking at C5s.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted a Z06, but that was way up there. So
Yeah.
he only had so much to spend, and we found this C4 and from this body shop guy over in Kima.
Mm-hmm.
And we looked at it, and I looked at it. I used to be a GM mechanic in the 80s and 90s,
Oh wow.
and I looked it over and I said, "Don't buy this car. Don't buy it."
Sounds like he bought it.
And he bought it.
I did the same thing to my dad.
He bought it, but guess who ended up with it?
You.
I ended up with it. So I fixed all the electricals on it, fixed all the mechanicals on it, and right before he sold it to me, he fixed the OptiSpark on it. Thing was a pain in the ass. But when I got it, no lights.
Had your work cut out for
the
you.
dash didn't work, and there were some other things that didn't work right. So I fixed it all up, and ceramic coated it, took it out to shows. It wasn't car show worthy when I got it.
Yeah.
And I fixed it up just like this one is, and took it to shows and won a couple of car shows.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back into town. He wanted it back. Okay, take it.
After you saw all the work you did to it, huh?
Yeah, so he took it back, and that was about 3 years ago, because I had to get rid of it to make room for the ZR1. So I had 4 cars at the time, and I had no room. So I had like 2 cars lined up here, 2 cars lined up, 2 in the garage. And I got to get rid of something.
Went from not having one to having too many.
It's like, hey, dude, I've got a car for you. If you want to, It's actually your car, your old car. Oh yeah, I'll come and get it. So he came back down on Thanksgiving and picked it up, took it home,
Mm.
and he lived in Washington at the time, and he was kind of rough on cars.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
He
even
drove him hard or what?
huh?
Did he drive him
He,
hard or just
he was
not take care of him?
abusive.
Okay, okay.
Yes, very abusive driver.
Uh-huh.
And he picked me up one time when we were gonna transport the car from Washington to New Mexico where he's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Picks me up and he's doing 80 everywhere. I said, son, if you want this car to stay the way it
To
is,
last,
stop driving like a maniac.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is my car to drive with. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. Mark my words, this car's gonna break on you. It made it all the way from Washington to New Mexico. This car had almost 200,000 miles on it. Yeah.
Y'all drove it all the way from Washington to New Mexico with it having 200,000 on it already?
Yeah.
Wow.
It made it.
Yeah.
Right. Um, it made it with no problems.
Mm-hmm.
We tried to fix the AC along the way. It still needed some stuff, but we were in a small town, couldn't get parts.
Right.
So I said, just blow it off, and we'll worry about when we get it home.
Mm-hmm.
So we drove it all the way to New Mexico, no problems. It really surprised me, 200,000 miles,
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of that, I fixed it. So it was a reliable car.
Yeah.
Until he got it home.
Here we go.
New Mexico, they have twisty roads, they have highways, and they got high speed highways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he took advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like maybe 3 or 4 months later, he calls me and goes, Dad, you want to take this car back? No.
He tore it up.
No. What's wrong with it? He started to hand me a list of everything. Sorry, that car's yours now. So he took it to some guy, and that guy had it because my son works in the field, so he's never home.
Mm-hmm.
So the car sat in this guy's shop for months on end, and it got messed up just being in the shop.
Mm-hmm. Man.
And they were working on stuff that he didn't even tell them to.
Yeah.
So it got messed up.
Yeah.
And I finally went over there and we took it back.
Yeah.
And we tried to fix some things and get it running again. And we had it running for a little while. I left again, and it just wasn't running right, and he gave up on it.
Yeah.
He wanted me to take it home last January. I said, I'm sorry, I don't have any room for it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 3 Corvettes already. I don't have room for it. So he said, why don't you just sell it? I know somebody wants to buy it. So, and that's what happened. He sold it not too long ago.
And what year was that Corvette? That was a C4?
93, yeah.
Okay.
93 Corvette. It was a beautiful car.
Yeah.
It was black and had ZR1 wheels on it.
Mm.
People thought it was a ZR1.
Thought it was a ZR1. Okay.
So, yeah, the guy got it back and got it fixed up and gave it to his daughter.
Okay.
But none of my sons are really into cars. None of my brothers were into cars. My dad just liked buying muscle cars for us, when we were little.
Hey, that's still awesome, man.
Yeah. So, but it was funny because when my dad bought my youngest brother a Z28, he didn't want it. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I snuck that car out all the time.
How old were you at that point?
It was in the 90s.
Okay.
I don't remember how old I was.
Yeah.
It was in the 90s, yeah. No, it was in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 83. It was 83 through 28, so it was in the 80s. I think I've been married about 1 year after that. So I come over to my parents' house and sneak it out.
Sneak it out. There you go.
Sometimes I ask them, hey, can I drive your car? Sure. I don't like that car anyway. I took it out. Anyway.
That's awesome.
That's it.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Thank you for your time.
You bet.